Akbar cleared PMP with all above target officially on first try. So there were some glitches and there were some interesting glitches. So Akbar, if you are a PMP without any glitches, I would say the story does not have any twist. It does not become a good story. So to have some glitches and to have some turn and twist is always a flavor that make a good story. Akbar joined us in batch 12. That was the last batch, and he was determined even when the batch ended. And he kind of told me that I'm gonna book exam. I said, okay, student, do say I'm gonna book exam. They don't do, they do ask. And then I got a message from Akbar. Yes, sir, I have booked the exam. I was like, what? What have you just done? But what was done, so done. So we worked backward. I gave a very tight schedule to Akbar to work on, and most importantly, he worked on it. He did it, and finally, here we are with Akbar, the certified PMP. So, Akbar, this is your journey. Share the way you like it.
So yeah, first of all credit goes to Almighty God, and then after that, it's Sir Amir. It's all the efforts of you that you were chasing me continuously, like what you have done today, what you are going to do tomorrow. This is your plan, and what you are planning, how many MCQs or mock tests you are going to solve in a single day. So it's all because of consistent efforts from you, because you were chasing me and I have to give some answers to you, because in the initially you have said that you are going to block me, otherwise there is no way you are going backwards. I will force you to give PMP. So I was very determined. Like I had initially planned to give my PMP in 2019 when I was in Pakistan, and then I came here to Australia. And since then, I'm doing my professional job. And today, during this COVID times, we were in lockdown, and I have planned that this is the best time to give PMP exam. And on LinkedIn, I chased Sir Amir, and then I got his number. On WhatsApp, I asked which batch is going on and what's the earliest batch I can join. And he said that right now he's going through batch number 12 bookings. So I said, yeah, this is the best time I can give the exam. After that, on the first day of exam, I wrote on my notebook that 14th of October is the day I want to give my exam. This is a goal I've set for myself. And on all the six classes of 36 PDUs, which Sir Amir taught us, it was wonderful. The journey, like from starting to end, each point which he has explained, the study material he has provided is way too much. Like I have gone through all the study notes, 50 MCQs of each questions. So in total, I have solved around 1200 to 1300 questions, and I think that that's enough. But according to Sir Amer, I have to solve all six mocks and then two mocks of Prepcast. But I didn't have time. I lagged in some of the timings, but still, I think 1200, 1300 questions. I think it's more than enough.
Yeah, yeah. You cleared PMP. You can now, and you cleared with all about target. If you say it's enough, if you say 200 is enough, I have to accept it. Yeah, you see, when you have that certification to uh, support your argument, I cannot say anything. I did PMP long back. You did now.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Akbar, what you said that a lot of material actually, have you read any book or do you have any idea about PIM book or any other book of
Yeah, I
PMP?
have. Yeah, I have done my master's in project management, in which we have gone through all the PM Box 6 edition. I have the book right now, but I didn't open the book like
In the program, there was no need
in the
to open
program.
the book.
No need to
Yes,
open the book. Yeah, your notes are enough. Like if you go through your notes, because if you open up the PM book, you will be confused. If you are a new aspirant, you will be confused, like from where to start, where to end, what are you going to do. But if someone follow your roadmap, your follow your procedure, I think that's more than enough.
that's more than enough. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. What about those six mocks? You were able to do four mocks, na? Or
Yes, I
three?
was able. Four
No,
mocks from the
my
first
you
one, and Yeah, and then the time zone programs. Like I've solved 300 to 400 questions from Prepcast after
Yeah,
that.
the purpose of giving you prepcast was only one. Since we didn't do any complete mock, there are four mocks in prepcast, but we didn't do any mock. The purpose of doing those 60 question was only one thing. For the 60 question, you get 72 minutes. And I was actually training you for those real exams, 60 question. But what added that those 50 questions that we did during the program and four mocks. They were the real thing as a foundation to build and to solve the question. Because whenever you are solving the question initially, I always say there is no need to focus on the time. The first and most important thing that you need to focus is more on getting that information right, understanding it. The time will come later, and that's what we did. The time management will come later. And actually, if you are Akbar, like in just your case, if you are determined and you are working with a schedule, I don't think so there becomes any issue. So Akbar, we were planned to give exam on 14th of October. What happened?
So I booked myself in for 14th of October, and what happened was I had one laptop, which is my company's laptop, and when you initially log in and just try to run the Pearson app, there was some blockages, and I couldn't able to give exam on that. So I borrowed another laptop from my friend who's living nearby. So everything all good to go. I've successfully checked in and everything good. And the guy from the Pearson, he was talking to me, but somehow there was some problems. There was some programs running behind the new laptop, which I couldn't close from the task manager. So they have canceled my exam and they have given me one inquiry number, and they said that you need to talk to the Pearson officials and officials for this because they have sent my case to the technical evaluation, and I can't reschedule my exam until the problem will be resolved. So I continuously chase Pearson as per Amer's suggestion that you have to chase every day and night to PMI and Pearson, and I did that, and they have closed down my case in 2 days, and they have given me permission to reschedule my exam. So on 16th of October, I rescheduled for 17th of October. So I had only one night. I informed Saramir that I had only one night, and he said just do it whatever you can and just prepare for the exam for the morning. And he just suggested me just follow the 80-80-70 principle. So I just followed that, and I have given my exam on 17th of October.
So, but this is very important. Two things very important. The first thing that happened, the issue that occurred with you, and secondly, how you resolved the issue. So I remember vividly when issue occurred, Akbar told me they said that it will take 5 to 7 days. Yes, but there is always a issue. There's always a way to put it on priority. Keep pushing, keep pushing. So that's what Akbar did, and I highly recommend if you're a PMP aspirant and when you are giving exam from home, like Akbar is in Australia, and all of my students from Australia are actually giving exam from home. Akbar, basically of lockdown.
Now it's lifted up,
Ah,
but yeah, but if you book in on center base, you won't get any date within a month. It will be next month or in
yeah.
couple of
So
months.
if you have a good internet, like they there is no issue, especially for booking exam in Australia, New Zealand, US, Canada. In these countries, the requirements are kind of like less stringent. If you are working in GCC, Saudi, Pakistan, India, don't book exam in home. PMI is very strict in these areas because of some online issues that they had previously. So this is very important when you give. Akbar, can you explain in detail the entry process before going to the exam? Like you take the pictures. This is very important and
Yep.
very crucial because
So
most of students feel very afraid of this thing.
it's very important when you are giving exam from home. It's very important that there is no disturbance at home. Like there will be no disturbance. Like all the houses here in Australia, there are wooden floors, majority of them. If someone is walking outside your house or your room, his walking sounds will affect you. Like so, there will be no disturbance at all. So when you are checking for your exam, they will give you 30 minutes prior time that you have to check in 30 minutes before. So I have booked myself in for 1 p.m. So I have to check in at 12:30 a.m. So 12:30 p.m. So when I checked in, so they will run your system that your system is all right, your internet is all right, you can speak on your microphone, you can hear the voice clearly. So this is a 30 minutes process in which they will check your system if there is any program running on the backside, if your microphone is all right, if your webcam camera is all right, and all your speakers are all right. So they will check all that in 30 minutes and then they will release the program. So one more important thing, once your test or the PMP exam started, when I was giving the mock test, I used to read very loudly the questions. Like I was reading the questions and writing. So the guy who was watching me, he has given me two warnings in starting 15 minutes that you are talking very loudly. So it's very important that you practice your mock exam by just talking slowly, very slowly, like no one can hear you. So it's very important. So he also said that this is your last warning and I will cancel your exam. So after that, I didn't say anything. I was just put my hand on my mouth and while I was trying to speak
So
as low
was
as
he
possible.
allowing this? Was he allowing you to put the hand on the mouth?
He didn't say anything to me about that.
Yeah, I remember actually in December, Babar, one of my student gave exam. He was even when he put hand here, he was not allowed. When he put this or when he did this, this was not allowed. So maybe PMI or that person has taken okay, he has to read aloud. So he also accepted that. Otherwise,
Yeah,
this is another big issue. Okay,
yeah.
please continue.
And one more thing, on your table or your study table, wherever you are giving exam, just make sure there is nothing like except the glass of water, all your mobile phones, your smartwatches, any watch or anything, no electronic devices. Make sure you are not wearing any earbuds or headphones, something like that. He didn't allow me for that. So make sure your room is clean. There is no disturbance. All your study notes, electronic devices are out of your reach. And they will, in the starting 30 minutes on the check-in time, they will tell you to take some pictures on the table, like from the right, left, back, and front, that everything is all good to go. And then they will see your table from the help of the webcam as well. So yeah, that's the thing. Just make sure everything is outside your room. There is no disturbance because when you are giving PMP exam, you need to be very focused. You need to be very concentrated. So if there is any disturbance outside your room, you will lose your focus.
Okay, that is important. That's a very important thing. Okay, so let's put it this: how did you manage the exam? Time management.
So I followed your strategy. So for starting 60 questions, I followed 80. I just mark myself that I have to solve the 60 questions in starting 80 minutes. So I have solved that question in 78, and I have flagged only one. And after 78 minutes, I just solved the last one. So and then I took my first break. I took the break of 7 to 8 minutes. So then I ate couple of chocolates and
Couple of
I
chocolate. I asked
yeah,
for
so
one bite of. I actually asked for one bite of chocolate.
I was very hungry actually. So
It's
yeah,
the same
so
like I actually yeah, Zaina. Zaina was one of my students. She went to give the exam in center. So her exam got delayed 4 hours. She bought three chocolates, one for start, one for the. She ate all the chocolate even before the exam. So you did the same thing.
all right.
Okay.
So yeah, so I followed that and I took a break and I took break of 10 minutes and then I started again. So the next phase of 60 to 120 questions, I give again myself self target 80 minutes by I solve all these questions in 70 minutes. Then I took the break early. So in the last phase, I had 80 minutes to solve 60
Yes.
questions,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then again I solved 60 questions in 70 minutes. So I have ended my exam 10 minutes earlier.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that's the plan I
Okay.
followed.
Okay. So in exam, if we talk about the exam, so how many questions were more towards agile and predictive area?
Majority of the questions were towards agile, and some of the questions were predictive, in which they were saying that company is following predictive approach, but they're transforming from predictive to agile. So these are the scenario-based questions, like companies following predictive approach, they're transforming towards agile, what the agile coach will do, what the scrum master will do, how you will transform that. And like I would say 60 to 80% questions were scenario-based, in which there is a description, like lengthy question part, and in the end there was what should the project manager do, what should the scrum master do, what should he do. So majority of them were scenario based. So if you read quickly the lengthy part, like if you read the bottom part and you read quickly the top part, you will be able to resolve the questions. And on the four options, um, in mock test, I got one thing, that out of four questions, there is always one option which is the most, like you would say, yeah, this is the right question. But in the real exam, there were some 30 to 40 tricky questions, in which I was like, maybe B is right, maybe C is right. So I spent a lot of time reading it again to get the final, what's the right one, B or C. So 30 or 40 maybe were tricky questions. Other than that, majority of them were scenario based.
Majority of them were scenario based. Any formula question?
Uh, there was on CPI, like they have given the condition that the project is running behind schedule, and behind schedule, and the company is spending more. So where are you standing? What you will do? You will terminate the project. You will continue with the project. So questions like that.
Any critical path question?
No critical path question.
No critical. Straightforward the question regarding that. Okay. So that's an important thing also. So how many, like which area was the most targeted? Team area?
So yeah, there were a lot of questions on teams and conflict management. Like they were giving you the scenario, and they will ask which stage of Tuckman ladder the team is forming, norming, storming. So there were 3 to 4 questions on Tuckman ladders, and there were a few questions on conflict
Yeah,
management.
you cannot share the exact question, so the context would be enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
you cannot share the exact question. Okay. So the team domain was more highlighted, right?
team domain, communication management, stakeholder management, and integration. So these were the main.
Integration integration was also there. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So when you say integration, was it change procedures, change control, change
Yes,
request?
yes, a lot
So
of questions
change,
from change control board.
so change request is again becoming the big part of the exam. Last night, Hamid said the same thing, that the change request is becoming more important. Same goes for you. Okay. So Madhvan or batch 10 student is asking, how much was agile part? So for agile, uh, were there any question on Scrum, on XP, Lean, or Scrum was enough?
No, no questions on XP, no question on Lean, no questions on Scrum of Scrums or Kanban. I haven't seen any questions on that.
So directly the questions were more related towards Scrum and the framework, right?
Yes, Agile Hybrid, like your company is following this approach, and they're transforming from predictive to Agile, predictive to hybrid. So questions like that.
Okay. Okay. So question. Madhvan, if you have more questions or if anyone has any question, we have a certified PMP with us who can answer in-depth analysis of the exam. So he can share with you. And please do like and share this video so that other PMP aspirant can also get information from there. Okay. So considering the difficulty level of our exam over mocks and the real exam, how would you rate it?
So I have given four mocks, and out of four mocks, I was getting between 60 to 70% result. So based on that, I would say that the real PMP exam is little bit more uh, more tougher than the mocks I have given.
More.
Maybe the fifth mock or sixth mock may be tougher. So I
The
haven't given
fourth
the
one, the fourth one is the toughest one. Actually,
yeah, right.
in my mocks, the fourth one is the toughest one. Okay, so my mocks were enough for the exam,
Yes,
right?
these are enough. They will give you the exact idea. Because when you are giving mocks, you are like you are not 100% serious. But when you give the exam, you are 100% serious. You are giving the exams like no disturbance or anything. I would recommend that to everyone, new aspirants, that give your mocks based on the real exam scenario. You're like there is no disturbance. You are fully 4 hours dedicated to the exam, so that it will give you the exact idea how much marks you are getting.
Okay. Were there any question on MBTI?
No.
No question on MBTI. So Sai Kiran is saying congratulations and
Thank you
asking
so
for
much.
the tips. So Sai Kiran, he is actually giving the tip. You can watch the entire video again. So he's giving the entire tips there. Okay. Did you use the deep breathing exercise?
Yes, I did for every break in the start of the exam, and then after after the end of each break, I did the deep breathing exercise. It is really helpful.
Okay. The length of the questions, how lengthy they were.
They were actually very lengthy, like a lot of description. So follow the same principle, read the last line, options, and then read the scenario, like where you are. You are on initiation, planning, execution. So just do that. If they are explaining anything, just say that if I'm on that situation, what I would do. So just read the options and just pick the best option as per the PMI rules.
As per the PMI rules. So, what would be your final advice to all PMP aspirants? How they should prepare?
So my final, like for me, it really helped. Like for each exam, not for PMI, I always give myself targets. Like this is the end. Like if we are on in 19th of October, I would say if someone is wants to book your exam, just book the exam. Like for example, say 5th of November, and start preparing from that. Like do the bottom up estimation. Go from the bottom and go up. Like how many things you need to do to appear on the exam. So that's my advice. Just book the exam, and based on that, just try to give and solve, I think, at least 100 to 200 questions every day.
100 to 200 questions every day. So, Amir is asking how many drags and drop questions were there?
Uh, I would say 4 to 5.
4 to 5. And were they easy?
They were easy, like the change. It was like the if there is any change
Can't share the
request,
question. Can't share the
or
question.
sorry.
You can't.
So yeah, they were easy.
They were easy as compared to the mock. They were comparatively easy. Okay.
Yep.
Any hotspot question like you need to mark on the graph?
There were some on the burn down chart.
Burn down chart. Okay. Any fill in the blanks?
No fill in the blanks, but there were some on choose two or choose three questions, like 6 or 7 options, choose two, choose three. Yeah.
Choose two, choose three. Okay. Now, very important, Akbar, that is my mantra of life. Each one, teach one. You are from batch 12 and you have student in batch 12. So I request you a lot that push them, work with them, and get over. Like make sure that each one in your batch clear. So
All right.
you, Ishwari, Atur, Vinay, those certified people from batch 12, it's your duty that those people also clear. This is very important thing. Okay. Okay. Which mock do you recommend? So he basically Saikiran use my mocks on Udemy. He's my student, so he only used my mocks for the exam. So he recommended that in doing the exam. Okay. So the second thing and the very important thing, I want you to write down PMP questions, not the real question, exam like question. You see, my simulator, why it is similar to the exam? Because it has been made by the students. And this is how
All right.
real exam has been made. So that's why it's
All right.
similar. So we need your feedback on that. We need your work on that. And finally, Akbar, you did work very hard. So
Yes.
it's the big. So now is the time to celebrate the success, enjoy the success, and endeavor it. Thank you, Akbar.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you so much, Sir Amer. It's all your effort. It's all because of you I've completed
Thank you.
my journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Yeah.